Also, can I just sidebar with you both? We are so close sitting together, it almost feels like we're still in the Nighthawk.
Yeah.
Like, those chairs were abnormally close to each other.
3.8 out of 5.
Whoa, no!
That just doesn't work for us.
Sound, speeding, camera, rolling. Scene 82, take 303, mark.
No half stars on take 303. No half stars on take 303. No half stars on take 303.
Alright, we're ready, boys?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were in the army, Nick.
Welcome to Take 303, powered by Fort Way Media, the podcast with the guy who knows a lot about film.
And his friend.
I'm Nick Molinari.
I'm JP Brooks. We're talking everything film and television, and today we are talking about Cuckoo. How do you say it? Cuckoo.
Also, with our new setup, there's also no hiding our special or non-special guests. So, welcome back to the pod, Eddie.
You're getting to regular status, and it's really starting to bother me. Like, we might have to start changing the intro if you show up on another one. Like, that's how upset up. Oh, ring a ding ding. Honey, I'm recording.
You're recording?
Yeah. The podcast. What?
Hold it closer to the mic.
Right now?
Yeah.
Why did you answer?
Because it was in the middle of us talking, and I figured I'd answer.
Oh, okay.
Is
All
this
right.
a rush hour moment?
Yeah, this is going to be great for content.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. I love you.
Jackie Chan says hi.
Bye. Do you have any good references? That was your best rep, Jackie Chan. What's the reference?
Rush Hour
Rush Hour!
2,
Which one?
bloopers.
The bloopers when Chris talked.
Chris Tucker gets a phone call.
Wow.
He's like, I'm filming with Jackie Chan.
You know what? I hope next to God anything happens, I'm gonna reference a blooper from a fucking 20-year-old movie, and then when you guys don't know it, oh, I can't believe you don't know the blooper.
How do you know it?
I don't know it.
Those bloopers are iconic.
I'll call anyone right now. See if they know the fucking 20-year-old blooper. Where's fucking Pete when I need him?
He would 100% know the blooper.
No, he wouldn't.
Actually, that would be a 50-50 for Pete.
He's a man of culture.
He only started watching movies like 5 years ago. Some cinematic news.
Cinematic news.
Also, while you're talking, just try to aim if you're not towards that.
Cinematic news.
Chick-fil-A is launching their own streaming service.
Called Cockadoodle? What's it called?
Is it called Cuckoo as well?
Joker 2 will be the final installment of the Joker franchise.
It can't be a franchise. There's only 2 films.
That's how they reported it.
It's so stupid.
That's how they reported it. It goes, Todd Phillips said it will be the final film in the Joker series. It's 2 movies. Pacific Rim is getting a prequel series.
Is it a show or a movie?
A series.
It's a show.
Well, the Joker fucking movie is a
Yeah.
series
Okay.
as well, so
Okay, yeah. All right.
it's a fair fucking
That's
question.
on me.
I
That's
thought
on
you weren't
me.
being intentional.
That's on me.
That's not. It's just. That's what I mean.
No,
People
you're
just throwing fucking words out. Universe, franchise, series, IP.
Interquel.
There you
It's
go.
a TV show.
TV show.
It's gonna be bad next.
Speaking of TV shows, The Acolyte Season 2 gets canceled due to historic low ratings.
Did you know that every minute of that show cost around $400,000?
The last bit of cinematic news, I told Eddie this yesterday because it just broke yesterday. Megalopolis. Francis Ford Coppola's newest movie coming out. So good. The new trailer for it got pulled because, you know when movie trailers show quotes where they say like, oh, the best movie of the year, best crime thriller since
Right.
this. So they put up some stuff that was
Not
never written about them. The first 30 seconds is amazing, and this is us watching it.
Oh.
I got so excited. All right, starts now.
True genius is often misunderstood.
What? What?
That was terrible.
Wait, are these all his films?
Wait. Keep watching.
One filmmaker has always been ahead of his time.
Is that fucking Morpheus? Oh, that was terrible.
That is a real trailer that they put out yesterday.
Were those all his films?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yes.
So they made up bad reviews for his good movies, and then with a voiceover that is saying that he's always been ahead of his time and is an absolute genius. This looks like a trailer that preceded Tropic Thunder.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell if it's making fun of itself, if it's not. I don't.
Because that's what it was. Because I bet you if it was like, oh, great, best movie of the year, no one was going to say something because it happens all the time. But because they were shitting on themselves, they're like...
Like, we didn't say that. Like, at all. Speaking of amazing things, like Cuckoo, we'll be talking more about it after the break.
Everybody has a vision. Everybody has a dream. Something that needs to be captured on the big screen. We at Fort Wayne Media love taking your passion projects and bringing them to life, whether you're a passionate artist or a small business owner. With expert videography and photography, we're going to take what you love to do, what you love to make, and transform it into a cinematic experience. Fort Wayne Media.
And we're back, and we're talking about Cuckoo. No association to The Pope's Exorcist, starring Hunter Schafer and Dan Stevens.
Cuckoo follows Gretchen, a young teenager who's forced to move with her father after her mother dies, and now lives along with him, her stepmom, and her half-sister. They travel to Hungary or Germany into the Alps, and they stay at a resort because Gretchen's parents are helping to build it. However, as she takes a job at the resort, it is very clear that the owner of the resort and things around it are not what they seem to be, and Gretchen steps into a very strange and weird world. And that is Cuckoo.
I saw maybe like 20 seconds of a trailer, didn't really know much going in, and that's the usual way that I like to see movies, same thing as you guys. I knew absolutely nothing about this other than it was horror. I heard a lot of talk about this movie, but I haven't met a single soul that has seen the movie. And now that I have, I don't even know. I'm still processing. What about you guys?
Same boat as Nick. This was Eddie's pick.
Ironically, you know what? No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because I feel the same way. You know what, Reddit? Fuck you. I'm not gonna follow. You know, I told myself
that's gonna be the opening of the promo.
Reddit could go fuck themselves. I told myself, yo, this
that
is
explains a lot of your problems if you trust anyone on Reddit.
No, but I didn't trust. It's just like I was telling Nick. The way we went about this, right, was Nick told me it was either The Crow or
Don't Blink, Blink Twice.
That horrible ass trailer with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well,
really good.
Well, it's gonna be now. Watch.
Yeah, when I was watching this, I was like, man, maybe we should have gone to see Borderlands.
Yeah.
And I see Reddit was coming up for like a week or two where they're talking about how this is, like a lot of them were saying, oh, this is probably like the third best horror movie of the year after Longlegs and Abigail. Abigail was very well regarded.
You still haven't seen Abigail?
No, I haven't.
Missing out, best movie, one of the best.
Well,
movies.
I did see. I don't know. Do you guys see New Omen?
No.
You see, that's also now. I think that's the third one because it's an excellent horror movie. But everyone kept saying, "Oh, this is you should watch it." But then there was this one comment that said, I don't know, it's a hit or miss. This is going to be... That's the one comment that I should have listened to.
Yeah, I think that guy's right. This is a hit or miss. Either I think you really like this movie or you don't. Yeah, I'm still processing. Strange movie.
Yeah, so right off the bat, we also had to go out of our way, really, to go see this movie. It wasn't playing at the Alpine, and it was playing at AMC, but we didn't want to trek to the city, so we ended up seeing it at the Nighthawk. Right away, we noticed, at least I noticed, a very peculiar set of people walking in the lobby, and I was like, oh, this is a different crowd than I'm used to. It was a very hipster crowd for Park Slope, very specific people. Like, if you go to the Wikipedia, we mentioned Wikipedia a couple times in the last episode, and look up the director of this film, his headshot, that's what everybody in our theater looked like. Basically.
Yeah. I mean, you said it's like it was very hipster for Park Slope. No, like hipsters are in Park Slope. For our movie theater experience, this is the most hipsters per seat ever in a theater.
And that's why I immediately got up when the credits rolled, because I was like, let me take a gander at this, because it was a full house.
And judge.
Yeah,
and judge
judge them.
Who are you who've come to see this performance?
I gave them the full gladiator treatment, and I was like, But no, I feel like this was a very different set of people that we were sitting with, I don't think any of them were really like us. And honestly, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible.
You guys are idiots. You guys are fucking idiots.
I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. I've never felt more heterosexual in my life.
No!
I think there was just something about this movie that we didn't understand. They were laughing throughout the whole movie, and I was like, I feel like there's a joke that I'm not in on.
I was listening to people as we were leaving. I heard multiple groups say, I heard it was bad, I didn't think it was this bad. So
Really?
I think they just took it as a comedy. Most people in the theater, I think, just took it like, this is really bad. And the point I'm used at, the big climactic ending with the two guys pointing guns at each other, I also thought it was pretty silly. I just didn't laugh about it. I internalized, this is really dumb.
Because they embraced it literally from, like, the first scene. People were laughing hysterically, and I was like, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Well, I think there are moments that are meant to be funny to bring levity.
Later, yeah, like, the point was hysterical.
Like when he does the whole monologue, goes, is anybody looking at it? Like, that is intentional. I think that our main character, Gretchen, maybe it almost feels like she's aware she's in a horror film, or at least she's not. Would I get frustrated with characters in horror movies where everyone, like the John Travolta, is nobody seeing how weird this is? Anybody? So she's doing that. However, I just think the people in the theater just didn't buy into it and didn't take it seriously. That's what I'm going with. I also think there were some moments, particularly one, where there were like legitimate applause as if, Johnny Torch Flame On had just happened.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, that I could get. It was a very big moment for, I guess, the gay community in that scene.
The scene where they're at the hospital, and it was very poignant conversation. They started laughing, and I'm like, I don't understand. It wasn't even bad dialogue. It was very basic, like, depressing dialogue, and I'm like, why are you laughing at a... So, like, I get that they're it wasn't even bad acting. Like, I think throughout the whole movie, I think this is a super meh movie. It wasn't really bad. It wasn't good either. I think this is a very average horror movie. Certain scenes were meant to not laugh.
And there were people who were laughing.
They were laughing throughout, like, all the very, like, bro. The whole movie. I get, again, the gun scene, hilarious. I thought, I'm like, this is so stupid. I think there were, like, even in the beginning, like, certain, like, things that she was saying that, like, to point out the silliness of the movie. I started chuckling a bit. But then again, the very serious scenes, I'm just like trying to see, all right, so where are we going with this? And then at the back, you're like, hee hee ha ha ha.
Yeah, people back were we laughed during Long Legs, but we weren't as obnoxious as like.
And we also did it during a scene where you could see why it was funny. It was Nicolas Cage screaming at the top of his lungs.
And like...
It made sense. So to kind of like reel this in, story-wise, do we feel that it was like good?
It's all right.
I don't.
Because I think it's a very basic story, and I feel like it's things that we've seen mixed and matched from other movies. I also feel like seeing this immediately after Alien, Romulus, a lot of tie-ins also.
I don't know what was the end game here. Like, so we're just...
The ending's the big problem.
Yeah, So I think same problem with Long Legs.
Let's immediately spoil this movie.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone's gonna most places this should be out of theaters for you. So
let's immediately spoil this. What was the point of this movie?
You know what?
So you see, the moisture. If you take the moisture from your crotch and you spread it onto a woman, you impregnate like the cuckoo bird.
I'm a review.
What was Dan Stevens' plan in this movie? That's the question that's in the air.
So I think the other issue, Eddie, why they were laughing is I think if Dan Stevens, who I think is doing a great job with what he's given, some of the lines and stuff or whatever, the cinematography, they did a good job making him very creepy, very uncomfortable. But I think if you read Dan Stevens as an over-the-top, like, evil scientist in a cartoon show, which I think you can't, like, if that's how you're looking at it, he's going to make you laugh the entire movie.
Okay,
I don't
You're
think...
still skating around what I
No,
but I just want to get back to that point.
What is his plan?
He wants to reproduce these things.
Why?
Because he's a preservationist.
Yes, that's what it is. No, but that's what it is.
That's the issue.
No, but you see, he was like, I think in one of the conversations, he goes, he's like a zoologist type shit where the girls are like these cuckoo birds, and he wants to. They were going extinct, and it's a weird process. But it was like, what? Like,
From my understanding of it, which they don't explain, but this is my own interpretation, is the guy is interested in nature and in animals. This is another species. It's a problematic species. And so he has taken it upon himself to study the species and keep it going. In the same way that you would rescue, if you could, rest in peace, all the dodo birds, but if you could have rescued them, brought them in, that's how I'm taking him to be. He's a deranged, like, even though this creature is clearly a harm to people, it does a lot of weird things.
he's a chaotic scientist.
He's a chaotic, chaotic evil.
Okay. So, over the top, clearly, definitely parts black comedy. Tonally, I feel like it doesn't work, especially if that's what the audience behind us was feeling. I was parts confused throughout the whole movie, and then also parts I don't understand why people are. It felt like people were enjoying it, and maybe it was a so bad it's good kind of situation, like The Room of horror movies.
It kind of, I think for some people it is that way. I mean, the guy next to me, fucking humming the whole movie, like, buddy, write it fucking down if you're gonna bring a notepad. Jeez. That guy was pissing me off. I think this is one of those movies that is so bizarre and weird, and because it doesn't have a direction necessarily, I think it's really whatever you think it is. And
I don't like that.
there are some movies where it has a clear path, but different people get different things out of it. But the path is still clear. Like, we can all agree this is what happened and this is why it happened. In this movie, we all kind of don't know what happened, and we definitely have no idea why the fuck it's happening.
I do think it's interesting that I've seen only maybe like half the trailer. I don't know if you guys seen the trailer at all.
Again, I saw this all through Reddit.
Okay, so I never knew that this took place in Germany. Like, I had no idea
me neither.
at all, and I didn't pick up on it at all. Like, I've heard some lines from the trailer. I really didn't pick up on the German accents, and I'm thinking, like, maybe this is, like, a German New Age horror kind of thing?
No.
Maybe, potentially. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. Like,
I think this
people are saying this is good, and I don't get it.
I think it lacked conviction and an end game, because the premise, like you said, the direction is there. I see where it wants to go, but one of the best things about us, like directors, is the conviction. Like the Vivitch or Midsommar. It's clearly it was a very weird movie, but the guy was like, "No, we're gonna do this way, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if it's the divisive, the Midsommar with the whole hallucinant scenes at the back. We're doing this," and that's something it lacked. One. Because I felt like there's certain things he could have taken further. He didn't. There was a feeling of more, and then again the end game, it wasn't really there. It wasn't the ending wasn't good. It wasn't like, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, there's a lot of setups and no payoffs.
Yeah.
It's funny because we rip on movies all the time for, it's so cliche and it's using the archetypes and it's following all these rules, and it's like, you know what? Maybe you do need a love interest.
Sometime.
Maybe you do need to like actually stick to the rules.
No, the first half of this movie, I actually really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the first half, I thought, or I knew where it was going. I'm like, all right. And
But that's what I'm saying. It has the setups.
Yes.
And then the
Yeah.
that's where
the ending, it doesn't have the payoff.
The conviction. That's where the conviction comes in. Where the guy, like, I think you have to, like, convince yourself it needs this type of direction, because if you don't do it, you're gonna get this type of movie where a lot of payoffs that they're not there. They're not like, what are we doing?
I mean, it was pretty obvious that the guy who said he was a cop was actually the husband of the one who...
Yeah,
I
picked up on that.
As soon as he said, last time I wasn't quick enough, like, you just know, like, okay, he's part of
the foreshadowing was thick. Let's talk some cinematography.
The first half of the cinematography is really good because it's making a lot of scenes creepy that I think by themselves, if you were to look back, the way they shot it, even the one where he puts his hand on her shoulder twice, like the close-up, they do a really good job making this movie feel creepy.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. I think that paired with the soft editing in the beginning as well as in the deja vu-esque sequences. I think those were like really trippy the first couple times it happened. Later on in the movie, I think they get too self-indulgent with it, and the music also was really a good touch. Kind of like it felt 80s-ish in a sense, but it did take place in modern day.
I thought it was in the 80s up until she had a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had the answering machine. Like
Yeah.
the kids these days don't even know what an answering machine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same thing. It's first half was everything was there, and then
Yeah, this definitely feels like I saw this question the other day of like when you mentioned movies that start one way but end completely different. This one kind of feels in that territory a little bit of like, even though it's there the whole time, it just, the tone, like you mentioned earlier, just feels so off from the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning feels. I think the reason why it works is that it feels very gritty. It's very atmospheric. It feels very creepy, very scary, in a sense. But then they jump into jump scare territory, and then everything is just different in the second and third act.
Yeah, I thought the jump scares weren't too bad.
I think there was one that was really good in a I won't say really good. It was good, but it also, I was like, kind of a cheap one. It was the one where like they actually cut the film and the creature is from one place to the other. That one, I feel like that one was the one that made me at least do a little.
I thought like the bike one when she was riding the bike and she was like the shadow one. I was like, oh, I'm like, damn.
That was good. That's what I'm saying. This first half of this movie, where it's a stalker film and they have more mystery, really great. But the second they reveal something, well, it doesn't really feel like they reveal anything. The payoff, right? Yeah. And I think you're 100% right. And everything I think that I'm going to say about this is probably just going to echo what you already said of all set up, no payoff.
Well, how do we feel about the acting in this film? We got a lot of praise for Hunter Schafer.
Yeah.
But I think the real standout here is Dan Stevens.
I think that them both were really. Hunter Schafer carries a lot of the movie, but Dan Stevens, he steals the show. He's really funny. He's really good.
I've never seen a bad Dan Stevens movie.
I wish the dad actually. I love when dad's being an asshole is like pretty standard. The dad being a schmuck is believable and good, and I'm happy with that. The stepmom, irrelevant. The little girl, irrelevant. Everybody else in this movie, irrelevant.
I'm gonna say the stepmom. There was so much more potential for that. Like I thought it was going somewhere, and
Yeah, it felt like it was leading up to something, and then it didn't.
and I'm like, so that's it. Like we're not just gonna
Also, what happened to them?
They gave her a sedative and they said adios.
Yeah, where's the dad? Yo, where'd they go? Let me say some fucking things about Nighthawk Cinema. The crowd was dog shit. But in classic Nighthawk Cinema fashion, every time I go there, it doesn't matter if I order a fucking burger, if I order one drink, they somehow fuck it up.
What did they do with that?
They brought it to your fucking table!
No, but they no. It
went
was.
to his table.
I think it was just the one order would go to my table and I would have to.
Yeah, like what is that?
Yeah, it was weird. I remember the two.
Because we were a completely different table. It didn't even make
You're
sense.
also two different shades of brown.
Because they actually you were taking the drink and they put down both the drinks and like the beers and I go, I ordered 2 beers.
And he's like, I'm not going to question it, but I'm not going to pay for it.
So just Nighthawk Cinema, at some point, you will bring me my food and my drink to my table on time. I'm sure it'll happen one day.
And since we always love delaying ratings on movies that we don't like talking about, here's something that we've been putting off for a while. Can we do a top 5? We all eat, at movie theaters. Sometimes if you're at a dining movie theater, you eat more than just popcorn. But which theater has the best popcorn?
I'm going to go with, at number 5, Cinemart in Queens.
Number 5 is gonna go to the Alpine.
My number 5 is going to be the Sheep's Head Regal.
Number 4 is Alpine. It's either the greatest or it's the worst. I put it at number 4.
I like how the computer said you're right.
It's because he keeps doing the thumb on his arm. That's what it. Yeah, that's what's reading.
Number 4 goes to the Lincoln Theater at the Columbus Circle.
Okay, number 4 for me is going to be. I'm gonna go with the Angelica.
Showcase Yonkers. Number 3.
Number 3 goes to the Regal 42nd, not the Animal. Animal sucks in general, but Regal, I think they tried. So number 3.
Number 3, I'm gonna go 42nd Street, Times Square, the AMC.
Number 2, Sheepshead Bay.
Number 2, Nighthawk.
That's wild.
You like the Nighthawk popcorn?
No,
I had
the
a-
tater tots.
We're not talking about tater tots.
That doesn't matter. What's
The tater tots are really good, but the popcorn there was
Popcorn and
ass.
potato are the same substance, ready.
Clearly.
Number 2, Nighthawk.
Number 2 for me is going to be Alpine, the same way, hit or miss. Sometimes you got a good one, sometimes you don't. But when it is good, it is good, and it's also cheap.
And number 1, 42nd Street, Times Square.
Number 1 goes to the closed franchise, The Pavilion.
A good plot twist would be for me to say Fort Way, and right there. But number 1, I'm going to go Alamo. I think the bottomless popcorn is like a nice treat. And it's also really good when you get it buttered. Like, you really feel the calories coming in at you.
I would say, on average, though, if like I had to pick a franchise by pop, it's amazing that any Alamo you go to, it's just the best. Like, it's above all these. It's in its own category.
Let's go for final thoughts and ratings, boys.
Yeah, I liked this movie, but I know it's bad. I don't know, I like the character, Gretchen. I think with a bad script, a bad plot, not necessarily a bad script, but a really bad plot and story writing overall, because I think it's got a lot of potential, but I think they were trying to make such a unique and different film that they forgot first just make a good film, then make the twists at the end, which I think that's kind of what I felt here. They were going for too much and all over the place. And by going for too much, they actually forgot about some of the key central characters, what motivates them, sort of what's going on with this whole thing. But I still kind of liked it. And I think I liked it because I enjoyed the self-awareness from Gretchen, who's aware that things are weird. I also kind of liked the monster, as weird as it was. I don't know. I can't tell you why I like this film, which is probably, I think, is a sign that it is a bad film, because I think things that are good, you can objectively say why they're good and not just say, oh, that other thing is bad. Like, similar to a franchise called Star Wars. Rogue One is the best, and I can tell you all the reasons why, but that's besides the point.
But no one can tell you the reasons why it's not.
That's my... but I think there's a lot of crap going on here. I think... Oh, man, this is really tough because giving it a 3... feels crazy. Because I would say that's on the same level as Alien Romulus. But it is my vote that I get to do. I think most people are not going to enjoy this movie, yet I could see someone giving this a 5. One of the toughest ones I ever had to give a rating to. Here it comes. No more stalling. The rating for Cuckoo. Cuckoo. I'm giving it a 3.
There it is. Stop.
All right. Eddie, you want to
I can't
bring
give
it
it
up?
a 2. I can't give it a 2.
I like the first half. It's an excellent build-up. Should have been, now thinking about our stalker film, the more I'm thinking about, you know what, Dan Stevens should have been the surprise where you take out the hair and all of a sudden, oh man, the stalker was him the whole time. But lack of conviction, there's not a proper ending, a lot of characters misused. I get why Reddit, the more I think about it, I get why, it's top 3. Shut the fuck up, Reddit. I think this is going to be I can't give a 2.5, so I'll give it a 3. But this is the lowest 3. Like,
You're not giving it a 2?
No, because I can't. Dan Stevens and Hunter.
I told him in the car. He gave
I
me
agree.
A preview
Dan
of this.
Stevens and Hunter Schafer were really
They're
good.
so good.
So I'm not. I can't do it on them. Like,
Yeah.
So you know how Twisters was a 2 because only one. Glenn Powell could only do so much. This movie had 2, so
They each get a point.
yeah.
All right, boys.
Like, I'm not gonna like.
We're not.
I'm not like. I agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
I agrie with anybody. If anybody goes with a rating for this movie, like,
Look,
okay,
look,
I agree.
Nick. So Hunter Schafer.
Movie of the year 5. Okay.
Look, Nick. Hunter Schafer gets it 1 point. Stevens gets it another. That's 2, and then everything else. Because if it wasn't those 2, it would be a 1 out of 5.
I did not have a fun time with this movie. I feel like part of my experience is tainted by the crowd. I feel like if they weren't laughing the whole movie, literally the whole movie, I feel like I might have had a different experience with this movie. I think it's very uneven. The pacing is really odd. It's an odd movie in general. I feel like this is a weird horror film. It's like dipping into a territory of like, I don't even know if metaphysics is the right word. Like it's doing something outside of the world of horror. And you know what? I do applaud it in some sense, because during the first 30 minutes, I did feel like, you know what? I'm actually glad that we went to the movie theaters and saw something different than what we usually see all the time. You know, Borderlands is out, and that's just by the book, by the rules, and
that would have been like content.
That's just like Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart in a Borderlands movie.
I don't think it's by the book if it's rated like 4 out of 100.
No, but I'm saying it's formulaic.
Yeah,
okay.
Like it's following a formula. They were like, this is what makes a good movie, and then they just completely shit the bed on it. And then by the time I got to the end of Cuckoo, I was like, you know what? Maybe we should have gone to see Borderlands. That's how I honestly felt, because I was just like, I really don't understand this movie. And if I went in knowing that it was supposed to be a comedy and that I'm supposed to be laughing at it, I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. I do agree that Dan Stevens is stealing the show here. I think Hunter Schafer is doing a really good job.
Don't do it.
I think cinematography-wise, it looks really good, and it's really killing me not to give this
the
star that I want to give it.
Do it.
I want to give it a 1.
Yeah! Be the man I can. I don't know why I don't want to give it a 2. I really don't.
I feel like there are certain things that would bring it to a 2, but honestly,
I think you don't want to admit the crowd. You keep saying the crowd.
No, the crowd deserves to give this a 1.
Yeah,
the crowd.
The crowd.
The crowd was a fucking 0.
I told you I wanted to get up that scene, the one you see, and they like throughout that scene they kept laughing. I wanted to get up. And you shut the fuck up. But then she goes, you see it? And I'm like, well, that can't really get up now because that was funny.
Yeah, I laughed like 3 times, but not the whole 1 hour and 45 minutes. I think this is a 1 because, Eddie, you and I have been talking about movies a lot lately. And you know what? Here's the thing. Sometimes you see a movie that's so bad that you have to reevaluate your rating system and you wonder, were you too harsh on other movies?
Yeah, I think we're all. You want to rate the crowd out of 5?
Well, fine. Yeah, out of 5.
1.
It's going to be a negative 100. I don't give a fuck.
He's going off scale.
No half stars.
Bring it on home.
Well, there's been another episode of Take 303. Thanks so much for watching. We want to thank our guests. Don't see any. Regulars at this point.
I'm blinking twice if you got people know what it's about.
Don't watch that movie either. We didn't see it.
Follow us on Take.303 and @FortWay_media Instagram. Also, check us out on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us, what did you think of Cuckoo? Tell us why you're never going to go see it. And if you do, tell us how much money you wasted on it. Or tell us why you liked it. Who gives a shit? Summer is coming to a close. It is nearly September. The summer box office run is coming to an end. There's been a lot of interesting movies this year. There's been a lot of good ones, but we're getting close to the end. So, we want to ask you, this week's question of the week is, what has been your favorite summer movie thus far? That started Fall Guy after Memorial Day weekend up until now. What is a movie that surprised you the most out of the summer box office of 2024? There's still a few coming out.
Can
Make
I
sure you go
answer
see
right now?
Sure.
It's going to be Twisters. Twisters is the best movie of the summer.
This week's poll question of the week is,
best Cuckoo, Pope's Exorcist, or Cuckoo?
which one was a better Cuckoo? Is it Cuckoo from Pope's Exorcist, or is it Cuckoo from, German? Cuckoo. Or was it Cuckoo, or was it Cuckoo? Catch you next time. This has been another episode. Bye-bye.